In the Army, when something wasn't working, we'd ask, is it the equipment or the operator? I didn't think I'd be asking myself that while renovating my kitchen, but here we are. This is part two of refreshing my kitchen. I'll start with the sander since that's the tool I'll be using for today's project. This is a Ryobi hand sander that I purchased on Facebook Marketplace. And what I'm doing here is changing out the back pad. That's the piece that the sandpaper actually velcros to. It's really easy to swap out. You just remove the 4 screws, take off the old pad, and screw on the new one. Too easy. Also, if you're looking for specific tools and trying to save money, check out Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, and secondhand stores. It's a great way to get tools for a cheaper price if you're trying to save money on your projects. Anyways, I'm also attaching my sandpaper. I'm starting with the 150 grit, which is a fine grain, because I only want to remove the top layer and just rough up the surface of the cabinets a bit. So we're going to start with the 150. I actually lost the first portion of this video, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it. This is me about to kill myself on the step stool because it wasn't level. But thankfully, I survived. While I was sanding though, I realized that the 150 grit wasn't quite cutting it the way I needed it to. The paint on these cabinets is uneven and Lord knows how old it is. So I did stop and make a run to the store to pick up some more sandpaper. So I'm back, made a run to the store and picked up some 100 grit sandpaper. So hopefully this will do what I'm looking for it to do to make this process go a bit faster. So just so that we can learn together. So right here on the back, it has a little chart that tells you basically the different grits and what they're used for. So before I had the 150 grit, which is fine. It says for removing minor imperfections and initial sanding between paint and stain coats. And I went down to 100, which is for moderate stock removal and sanding preparation before paint. So that's why I chose this one. I probably should have did that to begin with, but hey, we're learning that. And plus, I didn't really think I was gonna have to remove that much, but obviously, as I started doing the job, I realized that that one wasn't gonna be enough. All right, so we put on all my PPE, and then we'll go ahead and go back over where I just was, see how this does. Hopefully better and faster. Me and this dust cover, Lord have mercy, does not want to stay on. All right, now we're in business. So moving right along, moving over to the opposite wall, starting with the bottom cabinets, I'm going through and removing all of the hardware. As you can see, I do have my site inspectors coming in to ensure that I'm doing the job correctly and to code. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started with sanding. I don't know why I started with the bottoms, but I did. And then I realized my battery is dead. But thankfully, luckily, I do have another battery that's charged, fully charged, and ready to go. So I'm going to go run and grab that, and also grab myself a Red Bull so that I can go ahead and power through the rest of the night. I realized that I actually forgot to bring the fully charged battery back, so I had to run and go get that. So now getting back into it, getting started on the cabinets, or continuing, shall I say. And then I realized that position was not going to work for me. That bending over was not going to be good for my back. So I went and got my kneeling pad, knee pad, whichever way you want to pronounce it or say it. But yeah, so now I'm just back at it, continuing to sand, and then also making sure that I get the inside, the little piece in the middle there, and then the bottom. All right. So I love a good teachable moment. All right. So I was able to get all of the bottom cabinets sanded. Um, I have not done all of the top. I still have to do the top. And the reason for that is because my fully charged backup battery is now dead as well and needs to be put on the charger. So I love Google. Google is my best friend, and I wanted to find out why were my batteries dying so fast. Ryobi is designed, the Ryobi One Plus is designed so that you can use the same battery for multiple tools, right? So I already had one battery that came with my weed eater, and then I had another battery that came with my drill. So, and then since I did buy my, tools off of Facebook Marketplace, whether you agree, disagree, whatever, but I didn't buy a battery because I already had one. Well, according to Google, um, basically the battery is too low. So this is an 18 volt. I don't know if you can see that. This is the 18 volt 1.5 AH. I forgot what the AH stands for. But basically, this is too small of a battery to power what's considered a high power tool like the hand sander. I didn't know that until today. So this is more so for like your drills and I don't know, whatever else would be considered a low power tool. Um, because I know that I've used the same battery on my drill without ever having to put it on the charger. I don't even know for how long, days, weeks. I think probably even a month had passed before I ever even needed to charge it. But that's neither here nor there. So now I know I am not going to go and purchase a higher voltage battery to finish this project. I am going to charge both of these batteries and have them on standby because that should be enough power for me to get through the rest of these cabinets just for this particular project. But with that being said, I am not going to let that little mishap discourage me. Thankfully, with the dust collector, even though it keeps falling off, it is minimizing the dust. Yes, it's dusty, but it's not as dusty as I've seen it get with other sanders. So yes, I'll have some, wiping down to do or whatever, and that's fine. So I'm not gonna let this bit of energy that I have. I don't know where I put my can. I don't know where I put my can at, but I'm all jacked up on Red Bull. I have wings right now. So, with that being said, I am going to focus on this floor. Stay tuned for part 3. Do you think it was the equipment or the operator? Let me know in the comments.